Hi, everybody. Allen Bestwick here with Ryley Music, who is one of the contenders for the 11th season of the Kulwicki Driver Development Program Scholarship. We've just finished the first segment of the season. Ryley, fifth place after the first segment of the season. Thanks for spending time with me. Let's talk about racing and your racing season so far. I read a couple of the comments you filled out on some of the forums that they ask you to do and send in. It's been kind of like one of those regroup first
Yeah.
first segments of your season, huh?
Yeah, it definitely has. We bought a race car, 2023, so 8 years newer, and just trying a different motor package with it. It's and front end package, and we've been hit or miss with it. And we could start in the back and we'd work our way to the front by the end of the race, but it was time for a change. So we pulled out the old car for the Cars Tour race and changed all the front end geometry, put the old motor back in it, and it qualified P7, best qualifying effort of the year with the Cars Tour. So it was kind of, well, let's just keep doing what we're doing with this car, and we've been slowly improving it. And race against the Langley competition isn't easy. There's some of the best, I feel
Yeah.
like, and you probably know a lot of the names like Danny Edwards, Greg Edwards, Woody Howard, Connor Hall, Chase Burrow. There's no easy guys you're racing against there, especially when the top 12 is within a tenth in qualifying. Makes it very, very difficult.
Yeah, Langley Speedway is one of your primary places that you race. It's one of the great short tracks in American stock car racing. Ryley's 18 years old from Norfolk, Virginia. We talked with Ryley before the start of his season. Comes from a racing family, right? Family still heavily involved, and it's a multi-generational thing when you go to the racetrack, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple years ago, I raced against my grandfather's brother, my uncle Doug. Um, Me and him have always kind of raced together for the past couple years up until this year. And then my grandfather raced, won 7 championships at Langley, a regional, the best race car driver in my eyes. And then my great grandfather goes every week. He's still doing super well, so he goes every week, and so it's 4 generations at the racetrack pretty much every week when I'm there.
That's awesome, and part of what makes it special. So let's talk about part of what makes this program special. The involvement in some of the mentors that you get. You've been getting a chance to talk to Ken Schrader about racing, NASCAR legend, good friend of mine as well as good friend of the programs. Tell me about the first time you spoke with Kenny and what some of your conversations have been like with your Kulwicki Driver Development Program mentor.
I definitely haven't been the best at reaching out. I This one thing I plan on improving on pretty heavily from here on out. But first conversation, it was kind of he's short, quick, and to the point. He just told me that if I needed help, give him a call, and he's here when I needed him, and just kept it quick within 3 minutes. He was on and off the phone,
Yeah,
very quick. And
Ken
then,
is a busy man.
yes, very like first time we talked, it's like, oh, I'm going here and racing here, and then I'm going to leave there and run there. It's like us
Yeah,
asphalt guys, we don't even think about doing that.
yeah. Yeah. So have you had a subsequent conversation since and bounced some things off him as the first part of your season's unfolded?
Yeah, before I went to South Boston the first time, me and him talked for probably 15, 20 minutes, and I was struggling really, really bad with qualifying. Confidence was pretty far down because we just weren't good at the time. And I feel like we've definitely improved our program since South Boston. And when I talked to him before South Boston, I was like, man, what do I need to do? Like, I don't know what I'm struggling with. He goes, just grow a pair. It's all you got to do. It's like it's like, all right. And I think we went to South Boston, and other than we chattered in qualifying, we were really, really good throughout the whole practice day and race day. And then right around that time is when it started turning around.
Yeah. Yeah. Solid advice and advice you could understand
Yeah.
clearly, right?
Yeah.
That's Ken. One of the things about racing, uh, compared to some other sports, you go play a football game, you got a 50-50 chance to win. There's one winner, one loser. You go into a race and you could have 10, 20, 30, 40 cars and drivers that you're competing against. So you lose more than you win in this
It's
sport.
a very humbling sport.
Yeah, yeah, and understanding that and learning how to manage that is an interesting part of a driver's growth. How have you managed? as you've come through racing and as you step up ladders and it gets tougher and tougher to win, what kind of advice have you gotten? How have you managed understanding the adversity that you face as a racer every single week?
Yeah, like I'm big on our setup stuff. Big, I'm I'm my own worst enemy, really.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll be sitting in the shop working on something. I'm like, man, I don't get it. Like the car is good the whole race. We get stalled out running seventh. But my grandfather will sit there and look at me and go, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's like, huh? And
Yeah,
I think I hear that about probably 7 times a week.
yeah,
So about once every day. And then my dad will sit down with me every Sunday, and he's big statistics and all this. To me, none of that. Like I don't understand any of it. Just let me work on the car and just tell me if I'm good or bad. And but
yeah.
he'll sit down and he'll just sit there and go, like Saturday we finished seventh and eighth. We are really, really fast, but he's like, well, the last 20 laps you were the fastest car on the racetrack in the second race. It's like, then why'd we finish seventh? But it he looks at all that stuff and it's like, well, we're finding big improvements week to week, and it's definitely it feels good because I know the car is driving better. We've hit on a couple things with setup that's definitely weird in my eyes, but it works for whatever
Hmm.
reason. And he's sitting there telling me all of his statistic stuff that he likes to look at, and it's like, well, maybe we're not as bad as we really think we are. We just need to improve the first half of the race, and if we improve that, we'll be really good the whole race.
Yeah. So family is who you lean on when, I mean, everybody needs to keep their confidence up because again, yeah, they're maybe at the very lowest levels you get to where you're winning every week and then you move up and it gets harder and harder and that's the tough part of this whole thing trying to move up in racing is keeping your confidence up when you're not winning every week and you're up against tougher competition and
It
it's a challenge.
it's definitely hard because when I raced bandos, we were really, really good week in and week out with the bandos for whatever reason. Like I think we finished top five in the national championship points
Yeah.
3 years in a row. 2020 we won 18 out of 23 races. 2021 we won, so I don't even remember, 15, 18 races out of 30. It's like we're doing all this good stuff. My first limited year, we won a couple races in the championship, and then we haven't been as good since. It's very humbling. When you think you're on top of the world, it'll kick you right on down.
Yeah, it's a challenging sport, that's for sure. Let's talk about the charity part of these programs. One of the things the program looks for is work that you do in the community, and you have a couple of groups that you support. I want to ask you about them one at a time. Mission Christmas, and you're already planning for an event in July to
Mm-hmm.
benefit this organization for Christmas time. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we just posted about it today. We're doing a toy drive where Langley Speedway's helping us out with it. I worked with them last year. We did what normally you see Stuff the Bus around here by Z104.
Yeah.
We did Stuff the Race Car, and the cool part about Stuff in the Race Car was the late models have a lot of room inside of them because they're a perimeter chassis. We had from the back window to the windshield and up to the roof full
Of toys.
of
Awesome.
toys. It was
Excellent.
pretty cool. So we're starting now, and hopefully we can help, hopefully double, triple the families we did last year. And it's because luckily I was fortunate growing up. My parents always had something open on Christmas. I couldn't imagine being a kid and not
Yeah.
having something. So it's a big thing. I couldn't imagine it, and I hopefully we can help as many families as possible.
The other group that you're involved in trying to support is called One Matters Inc. And this is a group around veterans of our military. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I picked this one very, very close with our family because my dad served 26 years in the Navy.
Hmm.
So I want to help give back to our country as much as possible with that. And these people served and fought and gave their lives for our country. They deserve to at least have something to come, at least have a home to come home to. So we want to try and help them as much as possible. We're doing fundraiser events with them to raise as much money to help as many veterans as possible.
And it's an organization trying to get veterans who need housing into their own homes.
Yes.
Yeah. My dad was 28 years in the military, so I commend you for seeing and supporting that organization, and we share that family history, if you will, as well.
Yeah.
Races upcoming. So you're fifth in the standings after the first segment, but a lot of racing to go in the season, and you got a couple of big ones coming up. Tell me about some of your upcoming schedule where people might see Ryley Music race.
So we obviously have the Langley weekly schedule from here on out. We're just hoping to at least improve our results for the Langley weekly stuff, and we're definitely getting better week by week. And you'll see me there every weekend. This weekend we have the South Boston 200. South Boston's been a track I've struggled at. I'm just hoping to make more than one lap before getting in a wreck this year.
Yeah.
Last year they wrecked. This year last year I qualified second to last. We struggled the whole time with the car we had. We've recently gotten rid of that car and going back with our good car. So this time my hope is to at least start closer to the wreck than behind the wreck.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't even make half a lap before we got in a wreck. I was stopped for it. They hit us. It's like,
Yeah.
what can you do at that point? But I'm super, super excited to get back there. I feel like we've put together a good race car to go there, and we've definitely grew our notebook a lot the last time we went there. So very excited to go back. Hopefully, we start closer to the wreck and miss it this year. And then after South Boston, the next big race I know of is the Hampton Heat home track. So normally a race I've ran pretty good in. We were running P3 the other year to Brendan Queen and Connor Hall and blew right front. So I feel like we were in some good company there and just had a little misfortune. But looking forward to getting back to that race. It's been 2 years since I ran it, and I know we'll have a good car. I trust my team, and I know that's one of my better type of races. And then after that, probably maybe a Sobo weekly show every here and there. And then a big one that got brought up to me today that I've been trying to convince my dad to go do is Wake County.
Uh-huh.
So we might be going to Wake County here soon.
All right. Well, there you go. We'll publicly lobby for that one right here
Yeah.
with this as we send it out. One of the things I talked to you about before the start of the season that I'm curious about, you were talking about your daily schedule,
Mhm.
right? You're going to school, then go to work, then you go and think about working on the race car. Tell me about your summer schedule now.
It's pretty much the same thing. So I do online school, finishing up my senior year. My schedule, it's kind of changed a little bit. I work 7 to 4 now instead of the seven to seven. So 7 to 4, come home, do a little bit of schoolwork between 4 and 6, eat dinner with my family. Then it's right to the race car,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much a daily thing. Wednesdays we take off in the shop. So when we have a Wednesday off, I go see my girlfriend and hang out with her, and just kind of keep it simple. And I've learned that don't rush anything. I'm slowly starting to learn that I need to appreciate everything that I'm doing, and I've definitely have a different outlook on life ever since I've taken that step.
That's a great outlook to have because you turn around and you've been doing it for 50 years like me, and all of a sudden it's just memories
Yeah.
in more than it is on a day-to-day basis. So listen, it's not over yet. The underbird was the underdog, and coming from behind is certainly something that can be done. So even though you're fifth after the first segment, nothing to say you can't be first when this thing's all said and done.
Oh yeah. I always say even if we qualify bad, there's no such thing as a comeback if you don't come from the back.
That's
So
right.
I guess we'll see what the rest of the year has. I'm looking forward to it, and I know that my team's great. The standings don't show how great our improvements and strides have been for our team, and I'm very excited for the next part of the year.
Ryley, we look forward to seeing how it all turns out. Good luck in some of these big races that you have upcoming, and we'll look forward to catching up with you later on in the summer and seeing how it's all turned out.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Ryley Music, 18 years old, Norfolk, Virginia, one of the finalists for the Kulwicki Driver Development Program in its 11th season, and we wish him luck going forward in the summer.